Hi, today's video is a review of the Love Notions Breckenridge Henley pattern, and if you're interested, please stay tuned. Hi lovely people, welcome to It Is Josie. Josie here. I'm glad to have you back again. I hope you're keeping well and safe, and for my old subscribers, thank you for always watching my videos, and for my new subscribers, you're welcome. Feel at home. And if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to my channel and probably want to know what I talk about, I share sewing related content. Anything sewing related goes on this channel, and if you're interested, you could subscribe and join the family, and while at it, also press the bell icon so YouTube notifies you whenever I upload a new video. And today's video is a review of this newly released pattern by Love Notions. If you've been to my channel long enough, you know that I've been a pattern tester for Love Notions for a while, for about 2 years, and I became an ambassador this year. So I'm an ambassador in Love Notions patterns. So that means that should you purchase any patterns, Love Notions patterns, through the links I attached in the description box below, I earn a little commission which goes to supporting this channel, and this comes at no extra cost to you, and also you're under no obligation to use it. But if you want to support this channel, that's the one way you could go about it. And this is the Breckenridge Henley. It's a newly released pattern, and it's on sale for a week at 30% off, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but it's on sale for a week. I don't know the percentage. I'm not so sure about the percentage, but it's on sale. And it's a Henley pattern, and yeah, if the word Henley scares you because you don't like sewing buttonholes or knit fabrics, honestly tell me, who loves buttonholes? I don't love them, but you just know you can't avoid them. And this is a Henley pattern, and the first thought that comes to anyone's mind is sewing buttonholes on a knit fabric. The first time when we talked about releasing this pattern, I wasn't so sure I would go down the road. I wasn't so excited because my sewing machine hates sewing buttonholes on knit fabrics. The one time I had to sew a Henley t-shirt for my husband, I reviewed the pattern here. I didn't like the whole idea of sewing buttonholes, but the bonus with this pattern, actually, the button placket is a full button placket. If you can tell, there are no buttonholes whatsoever. All that is taken away, and it's drafted that it has a wide neckline, if you can tell. So it's easy to get it over your head and off without the need to open buttons. But if you're so enthusiastic and you love buttonholes, you could go ahead and sew them on. They are an option feature to the pattern. They're honestly not practical because you don't need to open them to pull it over your head. So it's drafted with a wide neckline, which is a V neckline, and then the buttons are attached onto it as closures. Ideally, you just sew buttons onto the placket, and with that you don't have to sew any buttonholes. Let me just tell you a few features about this pattern. I'm just reading down here. This pattern is drafted for ladies, definitely it's a ladies pattern. It comes in sizes extra small to 5X, and for Love Notions patterns, most size when I'm sewing tops, I sew up size extra small, and if I'm sewing bottoms, I go for size small. So this is not any different. I sewed up size extra small, and this pattern is also comes in a shirt version, a tunic, and dress length. And all Love Notions patterns actually come with full busts options if you're a lady who always needs to make a full bust adjustment on most of your patterns, and you probably know that's something extra you would want not to do. Love Notions patterns can do that for you. You're sorted, you don't need to do any full bust adjustment on this pattern. And have said this pattern comes in a shirt version, a tunic, and a dress version, and also it comes with 3 sleeve options. You can either go short sleeved or long sleeved with cuffs, and also long sleeved with a tab. And as you can see, I went with the tab version. This was my final test version, and it gives you options to color block with just changing the different color from the color you use on the fabric. If you can't tell, this is the fabric I showed you in my October fabric hauls video, and this is a cotton jersey fabric that was gifted to me by Fabrics for All. It features these stripes, the broken stripes, and this comes in a number of colorways. I'm going to attach the link to the Fabrics for All website to this fabric, and also the various colorways they have of this fabric. And actually I found it interesting, and in my stash I had some little dark pink a darker shade of pink that I used for just the binding and the tab. I just thought it would add something extra to the top, so I went for that dark pink, and I went for rose colored buttons because it's what I had on me. I thought I would go with yellow buttons, but you know how it goes. You order for buttons online and you never look at the size measurements, even when you know they're attached. So I ended up getting big yellow buttons. That couldn't work, so I just went with that, and I think it's a bit of a contrast with the binding, which is dark pink. And this binding is meant to be cut off on the fold, but I had very little fabric, so I instead decided to cut it into 2 pieces and added seam allowance so that it's just joined in the back. And let me stand up and I'll show you how this pattern fits on me. This is the top version. I went with the top version, and I just shortened my version by just 1 inch because my torso is considerably short. It's just from here up to here, it's considerably shorter, so I shortened it by 1 inch. And this is the back. It's meant to be a little bit loose fitting side to side. Just take in mind, because the cotton jersey is it would have ended up being a bit boxy, but if you go for a viscose version, it would most likely be a bit drapey and it wouldn't come off big. So I took in mind, just give me the shaping I love. And if you decide to go with the cuffings, you have the option of actually going for a thicker fabric. Now that the weather is getting cold, you could go for a French terry fabric and have cuffs. And I think it's a pattern that you can really, that gives you so many options to work with. And also the dress version, I see myself making it for summer, but going with the short sleeved for summer. It gives you so many options, and I thought I'll just show you this pattern, and so that you don't miss out on getting it, because it takes away the guess game of sewing the placket. And also another additional with this pattern, the instructions come with a video. It comes with a link to a video of how to use sew the binding on and the bottom placket, because if anything, that was the only tricky part in the pattern, in the instructions and also in the construction process. But this is sorted out because there's a detailed video on how you sew the placket. You sew the placket and also attach, seal in the ends here. There's, if you can see, I sewed a little X around. The pattern comes together really easy, and also with the additional video that makes it much easier. And this was my version that I made for my final fit, but I also have another that I made that I'll show you. This pattern is recommended for light to medium weight knit fabrics such as jerseys, rayon jersey, rib knit, waffle knit, and sweater knit. So knit fabrics that are 40% stretch, really, I recommend it. So that's why I went with the cotton jersey, because it would do it right for me. I know these are not your go-to autumn colors, but like I said in my previous video, honestly, we are free, because we make our own clothes, we are free to wear them whenever we fancy. And I made mine out of this. I'm going to change it to my second version, and I'll show you how it looks. And this is my second version of the Breckenridge Henley, and I made the short sleeved version. And like I said, it gives you many color blocking options. So I just went with viscose jersey. This is viscose jersey I've had in my stash for a while. I bought it from my local fabric shop. I don't know which one it was, but I've had it for more than a year. I think for 2 years. I had lots of it that I picked up from their remnant bin, so it comes in handy also when you want to try out the fit. And this is also viscose jersey in grey, which I had in my stash. Let me stand up and I'll show you how it fits around my body. Like I've said, because this is a viscose jersey, it's more drapey, so it doesn't come up boxy. It's a version I didn't take in this at all, and I just wanted to show you the difference it makes when you go with a more drapey fabric. And this version wasn't shortened also. It comes to just past my hip. And so this is the short sleeved version, so you have the option to just go ahead and just lengthen it, or go with the dress version. So I did shorten this one. I didn't change much about this, and I also love the fit. Still the same as the other. I didn't go out to make buttonholes. If you can't tell, the buttons are actually the closure. It's open until you sew the buttons on, that it holds the placket in place. So it comes together pretty fast. Actually, you can sew it up in a sitting. The moment you sew up the entire placket, you know, most of the construction process is as the same as constructing a basic t-shirt. I could easily have sewed it up with my overlocker, but you need to go ahead and top stitch the binding down, top stitch it down, and also close up this point where the placket comes down. So at the end of the day, you still have to use your sewing machine, but it comes together pretty well. And I could say that's how I got along with constructing the Henley top. Let me know if this is a pattern you would be interested in, and also if you have fears of sewing buttons and button plackets on knit fabrics. This takes away the guess game, since you don't have to sew functional buttonholes, because I would have hated doing that and I would have told you about it. And this is the Breckenridge Henley top by Love Notions. I'm going to show you pictures of the final t-shirts, both of them, and I paired them up with items in my wardrobe. And let me know if it's a pattern you would consider having a go at making. Let's see to the review of this pattern. Let me know what you think, and is it a pattern you'd want to have a go at making? I'm going to attach the links to the fabric that I've used, the pattern in the description box below, and let me know what you think. Until next time, thank you for watching. See you. Please like, comment and subscribe. Bye.